Chapter 56 Escape from the farm, enter the wolf's lair. Meanwhile, outside, the sound of intense gunfire rang out, and people began to panic. Xing Kui was furious, using the axe in his hand to smash the glass wall, but to no avail. Jiayu was also anxious. Are we just going to wait like this? Listening to the fierce battle sounds, Guo Yu forced himself to calm down. Of course, we need to find a way to escape. Let's follow Jiang Ran's plan and wait for the opportunity to escape through the breach. All right. Let's wait. While everyone was discussing, Jiang Ran kept an eye on the guards outside. Seeing everyone gathering around the breach, she glanced at the surveillance cameras above. Crackling sounds. The surveillance cameras inside the greenhouse suddenly exploded, startling everyone. Xing Kui continued to hit the glass harder, and Jiang Ran silently gave him a helping hand. Before she struck, a gust of wind silently collided with the glass. Amidst the noise of the axe hitting the glass, no one noticed the faint sound of something breaking nearby. Thud. Another axe struck, leaving a circular mark on the solid glass wall. Xing Kui was delighted. Ha ha ha, we did it, we did it. There's always a way. What? It's broken. Upon hearing Xing Kui's triumphant shout, everyone hurried over and rejoiced at the white marks on the wall. Let me do it. Jiayu also approached with an axe, taking over from Xing Kui and striking the glass repeatedly, while Jiang Ran continued to send out wind blades. Soon, a fist-sized hole was smashed into the glass wall. As everyone worked to break the wall, a loud and violent noise echoed. Greenhouse number 8 was enveloped in a thick fog, and a black shadow inside was continuously pounding the glass door leading to the greenhouse. It's coming, it's coming. Fu Wenbo was terrified and tried to squeeze through the breach. Before he could escape, Xing Kui grabbed him and tossed him aside. Get the hell out of here! You think you can cut in after I worked so hard to make this hole? Saying that, Xing Kui climbed out. Following him were Jing Wenbiao, the nearby Guo Yu and Rao Meng, Su Jiayu, and Jiang Ran. After crawling out, Jiang Ran glanced at the terrified Fu Wenbo and shouted, "What are you standing around for? Run!" However, Fu Wenbo seemed to be trapped in his own world of terror, staring at the black shadow relentlessly pounding the glass door. Shaking her head, Jiang Ran also climbed onto a nearby 3-story building with a basket of chili peppers, secretly observing from the rooftop. She was curious about where this thick fog was coming from. In the pitch-black night, the lights of the farm flickered on and off, but the 3-story building next to it was brightly lit, illuminating even the darkened farm. Flashes of red fire accompanied the gunfire. Using the intermittent flashes of light, Jiang Ran saw that the white fog inside the greenhouse was rapidly spreading outward, revealing the contents inside. Inside greenhouse number 11, there was actually a 2-meter-tall black vortex, continuously emitting fog. Around the black vortex were creatures with tentacles, vigorously ramming against the glass wall. Countless more of these tentacled creatures were emerging from the vortex. What are these things? Jiang Ran recalled the strange creatures she had seen in her previous life. Could they all come from these black vortexes? The stones created by fluorite worms absorbed the dense fog to form. Could this fog really induce evolution? Were the strange and unique natural environments from her previous life also caused by these black vortexes? In an instant, countless questions flooded Jiang Ran's mind, but she couldn't find answers. Watching the fog spreading, she took a bold step and felt the condensed elemental energy within it. She was shocked to find the fog had condensed into liquid form. She quickly sat down to absorb it. Slowly, the faint fog enveloped Jiang Ran. She realized for the first time that her cultivation speed could be so fast. Before, it was like a trickle of water, but now it was like a flowing stream. Her body was rapidly nourished and filled with elemental energy, and she once again entered that mysterious space where she could see the genetic locks. The 9 chains were suspended in the space just like before. Suddenly, small dots of light appeared in the dark space. These dots automatically flew towards the thinnest chain and adhered to it, losing their radiance upon contact. Under the corrosion of the light, the chain weakened slightly, and Jiang Ran's strength increased rapidly. The weaker the chain, the stronger she became. Jiang Ran immersed herself in the joy of rapidly increasing her strength. But soon, she opened her eyes. The tentacled creatures were emerging from the greenhouse. They seemed to sense the elemental energy and were crawling toward Jiang Ran with clear intent. Sensing the fluctuations in elemental energy, Jiang Ran quickly stood up, agilely flipped down from the building, and headed for the edge of the fog. The tentacled creatures seemed unable to survive outside the dense fog. They didn't pursue Jiang Ran after she left the fog, instead roaring and turning to attack the farm guards. The commotion on the farm grew louder, even alerting the safe zone. As Jiang Ran ran out of the farm, cars approached from a distance. She hurriedly hid on the side of the road, waiting until the convoy passed before quietly heading towards the city. On the way, a heavy downpour began, forcing Jiang Ran to take shelter in a small house. Inside, an elderly couple, probably in their 50s, lived. The couple was very welcoming to Jiang Ran, and the elderly lady brought her a cup of hot water. "Drink something warm. Don't catch a cold in this heavy rain." "Thank you." Taking the cup from the elderly lady, Jiang Ran felt a bit warmer, but she didn't drink the water. She smiled and asked, "Auntie, is it just you and uncle living in the house?" The old man glanced at Jiang Ran, showing a mouthful of yellowed teeth as he smiled. "Our children have gone to work in other places. It's just the 2 of us at home." "I see." Jiang Ran smiled even brighter, making the old man's eyes twinkle. Rolling her eyes at the old man, the elderly lady engaged Jiang Ran in a friendly conversation and kept urging her to drink water. But Jiang Ran always managed to change the subject and didn't drink the water. The rain grew heavier, and the sound of raindrops drowned out all other faint noises. The old man grew impatient and exchanged a glance with the elderly lady. Reluctantly, she obeyed his signal. "Girl, you must be hungry. We've cooked some noodles at home. Have some to fill your stomach." Saying that, the elderly lady reached out to grab Jiang Ran, but she agilely avoided her, quietly circling around to the old man behind her. Suddenly, he launched an attack, his face twisted menacingly as he lunged at her. Splat! Jiang Ran's sword pierced the old man's abdomen, and then the red sword was drawn out. With a swift motion, the sharp blade swept across the old lady's neck. Both of them collapsed. Looking at the bodies on the ground, Jiang Ran wiped her sword and muttered, "People who refuse to be good end up being livestock." She stored the sword in her space and began searching the house. In the backyard, she found 2 girls shackled with iron chains, one of them pregnant.